Alright crew, day 4 update for you. Weighed in this morning at 207. We're getting really close to the uncharted territory. The lowest I've ever been is 206. So we'll see if this weight loss continues. Again, I'm not really focused on the weight loss. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and really talk a couple of things about kind of a compare and contrast. I was just watching a Smelly Bell video, and he was talking about how we really shouldn't vilify or look down on each other, or think that somebody trying something different than what you're doing is wrong or right, but primarily just trying to find what works for you, and then being able to be open-minded about other people's perspective, other people's journeys. So I just wanted to compare and contrast, because I think this is really important, for me at least, to understand. So the first thing is around environment. Now, in a carnivore space, you really try to keep all of that junk food out of your environment, because you can't cheat on a carnivore diet. If you slip up and have some candy or some bread or some pastas, all right, your ketosis goes bye-bye, and you have to reset, and it takes a little bit of time. It can take up to a week or two, in my experience, just to get yourself back on track, back into that autophagy ketosis cycle. And that's really, really frustrating. Where on the sugar diet, I don't really think about my environment too much, because I just have things available that are sugar, and I see the protein and I see the fats, and I just don't want them. And then if I do happen to have them eventually, and I will, I'll have another ribeye. I love ribeyes. I don't feel like I'm doing something wrong fundamentally to the diet itself. Just like Cole Robinson mentioned yesterday on his live, and he mentions a lot, is just get back on the sugar diet. There's no problem with having a day where you have a normal day, where you're out maybe with your family, and you're going out to dinner and you're having a special event. I have an 18-year-old son that's going to be graduating later next week, and I'm going to have all of the things that come with that day of celebration, and it doesn't mess up my diet. If that's a big difference for me, is on the carnivore diet, if you're at a social event and there's no meats around or no fats around, you just feel really uncomfortable the whole time. And so that's my first compare and contrast. The second compare and contrast that I want to talk about is the dichotomy, the structure of the diet itself. So like I mentioned in my very first video, and I will continue to make sure this is very clear, carnivore works, and it works really, really well, because it helps you get rid of those cravings, isolate your meals, and turn your body into a different metabolic beast. Okay, what happens is this. Okay, as you start to lose weight on carnivore, the general conventional wisdom is your energy is going to drop, because it's just a matter of how your body is functioning. Okay, now in that drop, the way you prevent energy from dropping as well is you got to up your dietary saturated fat. Okay, what does that mean? That means if you're trying to lose weight, okay, your BMR is already naturally coming down with your weight. That's just how thermodynamics works. And then to keep your energy up without slamming energy drinks and coffee all the time and just propping up that energy level, you have to up your dietary fat. The general conventional wisdom, if you go to any carnivore type channel, they'll say, yeah, you got to bump it up to 1.3 to 1.5 grams per your ideal body weight. Now, I know you know this, but let's just pretend like others don't know that there is 9 calories per gram of fat. Okay, so if the general wisdom is, as your BMR and your weight go down, your your dietary fat has to go up, you can see how that conflicts. And so I guess, and my guess is, that's why a lot of people start to falter, and or they don't up their saturated dietary fat, and their energy levels continue to drop and drop and drop. Your cortisol levels keep going up and up and up. The more coffee, the more caffeine, the more energy, zero carb energy drinks you have to take. Now let's compare that to the sugar diet. All right, So far, I am struggling to get 1,600 calories in a day. And I am listening to my body. When I'm hungry, I go grab food and I eat it. It's just all carbs, right? So the idea is if I'm losing weight and I'm guessing my metabolism's being revved up, I'm not for sure, but it feels like my metabolism's getting revved up every time I eat carbs, just how it works. But if when I start to lose weight, and I have started to lose weight here on the sugar diet, and we're just 4 days into it, but the idea is I can sustain my food and I don't have to worry about my energy levels dipping because my BMR is dropping and I'm being more keto or carnivore adapted, where ketosis is kicking in more often than not. My energy levels are through the roof. In fact, I'm out here right now on my during the middle of the day with my weight pack on. I feel amazing, and all I had was a sugar bomb like 4 hours ago, like 500 calories of just straight sugar. My wife bought a huge watermelon. I'm like, oh, I'm getting some of that, and sure did. I got about 300 grams, and it just filled me up. Now I know watermelons are really low in calorie. There's only like 100 calories and 300 grams of watermelon, so I got to be careful with that. But the idea is I don't have to think about upping my fat just to keep my energy up, and that really helps with my mental state, because now I don't have to worry about my weight, because if my BMR is dropping on the carnivore and I have to up my dietary fat, that automatically is going to bump my calories up significantly to the point where I may not be in a deficit and I may be stalled and or gaining weight. And the third compare and contrast I want to talk about is sleep quality. I can't express how many times I have gone on a fast, eaten carnivore, and my sleep is absolute garbage. Now, I spent an entire month of February this last year intermittent fasting, 16/8. So I was eating in an 8-hour window. I was following all the rules, eating early on, stopping my meals around 4 p.m. to allow for digestion and so it wouldn't interrupt my sleep. And then I would get to sleep, and then I would wake up 3-4 hours later, and I would just be absolutely unable to get back to sleep or restless the whole night. I have technology. I have a Samsung Ring, and I have a couple other devices that I wear because I used to be really large and I used to have really bad sleep apnea. So as I was dialing everything in and trying to figure that out, I had all these metrics, and so I continue to monitor how I sleep and what the quality of my sleep is. And on carnivore, regardless if I'm fasting or if I'm just doing 16/8 every day, my sleep quality has always been absolutely terrible. On the sugar diet, okay, exact opposite. Just this morning, I woke up and I had an 85 sleep score and I had an 85 energy score. I had never seen a sleep score above 75/80 on carnivore ever. And that's just an attestament. Again, the same amount of sleep time, but now my quality is just through the roof. I woke up this morning and I literally jumped out of bed and was like, whoa, what is this? Why do I feel so good? I hadn't even had my sugar bomb yet. And so that's the third compare and contrast. Again, based on my experience, is my sleep has just gotten significantly better overall. I'm not trying to find little niches like, oh, lower your temperature more, or wear a sleep mask, or tape your mouth, or all these things that, yeah, sure, maybe they're small little pieces to the puzzle, but at the end of the day, if your stress hormones through the roof and you go to bed, like, you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna feel terrible throughout the night, and then you're gonna get terrible sleep, and then it's just gonna compound. And so these are my three things that I really wanted to kind of put out there, compare and contrast, because it's always important to bring things from your perspective, but not try to judge others. And so if you have some similar experiences of trying the carnivore diet, or at least doing it for an extended amount of time and been stalled out, and now you're switching over to the sugar diet, I'd be interested to see what your compare and contrast is, just your aha moments where you're like, yeah, something's a little bit different here. And again, I've only been on the sugar diet exclusively for 4 days, so we need to give it more time. But just off the rip in these 4 days, I've had these aha moments more times than not, and I'm just encouraged by the fact that I don't have to lower or do something different with the sugar diet as I'm losing weight. I don't have to, manage, more and more fats, or I don't have to worry about my sleep anymore. I can eat at like 7, 8 o'clock like I did last night and sleep like a baby. It was so nice. And just the environment piece. I have kids. I don't know about you, but they like stuff that isn't just protein, eggs, and bacon all the time. I know it's crazy, right? And I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And that's just really liberating. So anyways, I will see you all on the next one, and be looking forward to having more discussions around this. Again, this is going to be posted every day. I look forward to some of your comments, and let me know if you have something different, compare and contrast, something that just throws out there like, yeah, I noticed this too. Well, have a good one, everybody. I hope everybody's having a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.